Good morning everybody, and this is your Forex Day trade setups for today. So finally we've got some action going into the close of last week, and pretty solid bull bars that came into play. We are still in this channel, so I think you should be looking for opportunities to get out if you're not out already, and look for the next level. And the next level is right over here at 118.385. So I would expect some selling to come in there, and then possibly a pullback onto a breakout. Now the closest breakout that I can see at the moment is going to be in this area here. Okay, so we have had a gap down, and we are sort of hovering in no man's land here with range bar after range bar after range bar, so a bit of indecision. Personally, I would like to see some sort of a pullback, and then back in long, looking for the top of the channel again. So three areas that I'd be watching is 118.079, 117.990, and lastly 117.810. That would be a pretty decent pullback, a nice deep pullback opportunity to get long again, and looking for a measured move. It's pretty much equal to the move of Friday. Okay, so that's kind of my plan there with EURUSD. Euro Japanese yen, pretty similar, just in the opposite direction. So we did bounce off the top here quite convincingly. We have broken through, this area you see here. There are three levels in the middle of nowhere here that we have broken through. So same thing applies for me here. Technically we are still in an uptrend, so just be careful here. And by the looks of things, okay, that was the first channel which we've broken, and I would put something in like that. So I would expect some kind of a move back into this area before another leg down. So if we get to the hour, you'll see what I mean. So we had this triangle break, we had the retest, you can see move, retest, a rejection of the breakout as well as moving averages, and now we're heading down. Okay, we do have a gap here, so I would expect some buyers to wait for you at the gap. There you can see is the sort of the close, and then we gapped up, so that's probably the target at the moment. The downside is 105.315, and then what I'd like to see, let's just use one of these. Come on. There you go. Then what I'd like to see is some kind of a pullback onto this breakout that's just happened, which is 105.520. So move down, possibly bounce off the bottom here or off one of these tails, back up, hold this level, and then you're going to have a fairly decent risk to reward. You have a pretty tight stop. And what you'd be looking for is something 125 points to 177 points gain. Okay, so that's also continuation short. British pound USD, same thing here. This, remember, we were looking for us to break out of these levels. It has happened. That happened going at the close. So we're looking for a retest of 130. So I would expect us to come back to 130. If 130 holds and we start making higher highs on a higher time frame, so anything from 2 hour to 8 hour time frame, then this inverse head and shoulders is going to play out, and that is fairly significant because you have a 3,200 pip target at the moment. So that is something which I'm definitely watching at the moment. And what we're looking for is pullback onto structure, and 130 is the structure. Don't be too surprised to see if it falls a little bit below 130, and looking sort of to trap any shorts that are there. Okay, so there may be a lot of shorts that are sitting here that are still holding, waiting for it to reverse, and could very well come down here to enable people to add on to their shorts and then find support lower down and reverse from there, which would then trigger all the stop losses and give it the momentum that it needs. So that would mean coming down to 129.799. but I'd like to see an hourly close at least above 130. Okay, if that fails, then I'll wait for that hourly close above 130. Okay, and that's just for a long, not interested in shorting that. New Zealand dollar, Japanese yen. So this measured move from Friday to the block has happened. So it was a breakout. We'll get to that on the hour. And we have a bit of a area there which we have tagged. So at first glance, I don't think there's much here. We need to wait for pullbacks again. Okay, so we had this head and shoulders here. That was the target, the previous high. We got it, and then we broke through. So this here we can get rid of. This trend line here we can extend. And this here we can get rid of. Right, so the first area of support would be exactly where we are, 72.56. We do have a bit of confusion, big down, big up, big down, big confusion at the moment, so nothing waiting for us there, but this level is important. So 72.56, if it holds, I'd expect at least another attempt at 74.72. We break through 74.72, I want a retest of that, and then an opportunity to go long again. Alternatively, moving down to here, but I don't see that happening right now. That's 69.943. I think it's probably safer to bet on a move down into this zone here of 71.10. Okay, and then it's an opportunity to buy as well. British pound, Japanese yen, just starting off on the weekly, just to give you a broader picture here. We are in a fairly strong downtrend. Okay, there is a significant level here, which you can see previous swing low, and we haven't really, there we rejected it, and now we're sort of flat, but I'm not 100% sure that we're going to get a V reversal off here. So it is a higher low from the previous lows here, and we are forming higher highs. So it's a pretty broad channel, that. Okay, now the question is, if you look at that, is that a channel break or a flag break and a retest? And that's kind of my view of this at the moment. So if we come down to the 8 hour, you'll see pretty messy. We're coming up to an area of support right here, and there's another little one just above it over there. So this to me is too messy to play, to be honest, but I'm watching it because we have some significant levels here, and if we start getting rejections off here, this break below the trend line is going to be telling. So the first one is this 137.765, and then we have this 138.265. Okay, so the pound is interesting in the sense that we've still got the Brexit noise, as well as COVID, as well as political noise in the UK as well, and a couple of other scenarios unfolding there as well, with extension of COVID, with closing down of pubs again and restaurants and lockdown, etc., etc. So yeah, we've got the economy problems here. There's a whole host of problems here. But let's not get too bogged down by the noise. The point is, looking at the charts, we should be looking somewhere in this area here for a rejection. And the other thing that you can do here is just get your Fibonacci in, and you can see these two levels I've given you. The 50% is pretty much where we are, and the 61.8 Fibonacci is pretty much close to the next level I've given you. Okay, so levels you need to pay attention to are 137.765, the real one that I'd be looking at 138.265, and you could extend as far as 139.328, at which point I would expect another move down. Okay, that's British pound, Japanese yen. Looking at Aussie dollar, US dollar, we are flirting with this trend line. You can see there's a trend line there. And we also, at the same time, have this area of congestion here. So you can see these tails here, tails off there, tried to use it as support there. And now we are kind of, I won't say we're bouncing off it just yet, but we are flirting with it. So that's 0.72426. So two things here. I think we should expect some kind of a pullback, and that pullback should come back down onto this area here of 0.72096. Okay, so I expect some kind of a pullback, and then I'm anticipating this trend line to break and expecting this move to continue. So we do have a potential measured move at play here. And remember, this is a failed double top, so there are two targets here. So the first one is, there's my first target, which is my measured move. Okay, straight into this congestion. And then we have a double top, which is a failed double top. You see there's our double top. We've broken through it. We do want to come and test it, but that should give me a measured move as such, which is pretty much into the same area. So two different patterns, same target. I think that's pretty much the play that we want to play for. So Aussie dollar, US dollar, looking for some structure off here. So 0.72096. I want to see if I find support there, and then close the gap, break through 0.72426, come back, test it, and then opportunity to get long. Okay, so opportunity to get long from the bottom here. What I would do with a long from here is let it get going, and then just move my stop to entry. Anticipate a little bit of a bounce off here, and then a breakthrough to come for the measured move. Okay, so something like that is going to give you, that's a 320 point stop loss for 900 odd point gain. Okay, last pair is British pound, Aussie dollar. So we do have this triangle break. We're back into the middle of nowhere. So you can see the congestion here. We're sort of back in this area here. Trend is down. What does bug me though is we have also, let me just extend this. What bugs me there is that we have broken this trend line here, but we've also broken it. Let me just line it up properly. We've also broken it to the upside. Okay, so nothing really that stands out on the hour here, and the 8 hour is pretty much just as all over the place. So British pound, Aussie dollar, I would expect, looking at the other patterns here, I would expect some weakness here, but I don't like what I see with all these tails. So I think for that pair, they pretty much sit on my hands. Okay, anyway guys, that's it for me today. Some great opportunities in most of the pairs. Dollar looks to be weakening, so that's pretty much the one trade on offer. And then we have pretty much the pound against the Japanese yen, which is an opportunity as well. Anyway, hope it helps, and we will catch up with you later. Cheers for now.